this is the major scale, this is C. These little lines here indicate a half step. So from E to F and from B to C. What that means is, on a half step, on a guitar neck, if my finger is here and I move a half step, I move up 1 fret. If I move up a whole step, I move up 2 frets. Or in this case, from one black dot to the other black dot. A half step, you stop in the middle.
So in between 2 dots is your half step.
Right. From here to here is a half step. From here to here is a whole step.
Okay. So every time you move from dot to dot is full step.
It's a whole step.
Okay.
So, now that we know where we are a little bit, let's go back to our paper. In the C major scale, there are no sharps and flats. So from E to F and B to C, the half step is already in place within the guitar neck when you're playing it. And that sounds, I'll play the C major scale for you, and I'll show you what it looks like. So before I do that, I'm going to show you the names of the strings. This string is E.
Wait, let me show the...
This string, the thickest string, is E. This is A, D, G, B, E. The way you can remember it is every alcoholic drinks gin, Beefeaters exclusively. E, A, D, G, B, and E.
Say it again.
Every alcoholic drinks gin, Beefeaters exclusively.
Okay. So, if you do the string, you said every
alcoholic drinks gin, Beefeaters exclusively.
Cool.
Alright, so since we know the names of the strings, right, we're going to start with the C major scale. This is an A string. So this is A, B, C.
Okay, do it again.
A, B, C. So when you think of a major scale, think of the do, re, mi. So I'm going to do the do, re, mi. That's the C major scale. That's the do, re, mi. And when I end here, when you asked what an octave was, this is a C. That's also a C. Hear the pitch difference. That's an octave. So on what that looks like on paper is when you're going from C and you end on C, you are an octave higher than when you started. So you've just completed 1 full octave or 8 notes. So the C major scale is like this. So here's the half step. There's the other half step. So this is C, D, E, F, G, A, B,
C.
C. So, now that we know what that sounds like, all the major scales have to have that same pattern to them. That do, re, mi pattern. So what happens is, to make that sound, we'll go to G because G is easy. B to C, remember, is already a half step. Well, from F to G, that's a whole step. So something's got to change here to make this a half step. So what happens then is we make
Sharp.
F to F sharp. I'm going to show you the G major scale. So the G major scale, so here is an E string, so you go E, F, G. So you go G, A, B, G, A, B, C, D, E. Well, there's F right here. That's not going to work. So you got to go F sharp, G. So it has the same sound as the C major scale.
And this is the G scale.
This is the G major scale, but in order for it to be the G major scale, to sound like that, do, re, mi, this has got to be an F sharp. So that's why all these different keys, all these different scales here, that's why you see the flats and the sharps all over the place. To maintain that sound pattern, you've got to have sharps and flats. And I showed you in each key how many sharps there were. I even labeled them. So, but I wanted you to figure out, and you tell me how many sharps are in the key of D.
Is that a homework?
Mm-hmm. But I'll go over it with you though. So we're going to go to the key of D, or the D major scale. Here's your D, right here.
Why is it there?
A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
So we're going to go D, E, F. Well, that's a whole step, so there's something wrong. So F to work from F to G is a whole step. So if I go, that's G. So if we're going to make, this is G. So we're going to have to make F sharp again. So we're going to go D, E, F sharp, because there's F sharp, because here's F sharp down here. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, but here's the C. So we're going to have to make C sharp. So we're going to take the C note and slide it up one. So that's C sharp.
So can you play the whole thing now?
So there's two sharps. The F is sharp and the C is sharp in the D major scale, which is
Do, di, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Cool.
so that's how that works. One of the other things I wanted to show you is your finger positions, 1 through 4. 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So wherever you start, if I start up here or down here, I'm always on my first finger. And each finger has a corresponding fret in front of the other finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So no matter where you are, if it goes, every finger has its own spot. So think of a whole step. You got your first and your third finger. A whole step and a half would be your pinky finger, and a half step would be your middle finger. So that's how that always works.
So the full step is your index and your ring finger.
Mm-hmm. Now if you watch me when I'm playing these scales, what I'm not doing is this. I'm not lifting this finger up and playing this finger. I'm leaving my fingers where they are at. It makes it smoother. And it'll really slow you down if you try to lift each finger up and put each finger down like that. It's easier if you just play it. See, all these 3 fingers, I've never moved them playing those 3 notes. Makes it much smoother when you just kind of leave your fingers until you completed the string to move to the next string, then shift your fingers. I've gone over the string names. Another one, when you showed me you were finger picking, another way is when you sit with the guitar. Go over there. So I'm sitting with the guitar.
Hold it.
I'm about to drop the camera. I'm sitting with the guitar with the body resting on my left leg. The back part of the body is kind of sitting against my other leg, and so I've got a pretty secure sitting position here.
So this arch.
And usually you have your left leg propped up on something. This is on your left leg. Right, and when I saw you picking, you were kind of using these 2 fingers. But I remember I told you kind of want to set your arm up here a little bit and kind of let your hand just sit here, rest, without... This is for a classical guitar, not a standard string guitar.
Okay.
When I'm playing a standard steel string guitar and I'm using a pick, I'll rest my hand here and I'll move my hand up and down to do the... like that. You're different. You're on a classical guitar, which is a different approach. You want to have your hand kind of draped over, and you want to... your thumb wants to take care of the E and the A string. Your other 4 fingers is the D, the G, the B, and the E. If you can see each one of my fingers, they're all touching
Let me show it.
individual strings. You see how I've got them just like that?
So show me what letters are those? E?
This is the D, the G, the B, and the E.
Okay.
Right here. And your thumb is going to do the E and the A. So when you do this, it's kind of a rhythmic thing.
Let me see in this angle.
It's a rhythmic thing, so you
Let
kind
me
of go...
see this angle. Can you turn on the sound a little bit?
So you see what I'm doing? My wrist is not really moving. I'm letting my fingers do the movement over top. I'm not the greatest classical guitar player in the world, but I'll try to help you the best I can. But that's what I want you to work on, is getting that, just your fingers moving.
It's just like blowing each string
And do it slow at first.
till you get used to it.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So you play slow first, and speed comes with, you know, time, the more you practice. I suggest you practice, go over your homework and your paperwork stuff and all your scales and memorizing the neck. Go over that maybe 30 minutes in a day, and then the other 30 minutes of the day,
Oops, sorry.
you know, the 30 minutes that you practice, try to practice something that you enjoy. Another quick little tip is like these black dots here on the neck are like your whole notes or your white keys on a piano. The spaces in between are like the black keys on the piano. So if I'm in E, this is E. Remember, in the C major scale, no sharps or flats, right? So E to F is a half step. Alright, so now I'm going to go to G. I'm going to go to A, B, C,
D.
D, E. And that's a good way to do it for all the strings. So you're going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Another, here's an easy way to help you with the strings and help you memorize some of the notes. To tune the guitar a little bit, I'll show you. This is a trick that I learned. The 5th fret, except for this string, once you get to the G string, you gotta move down a fret. But if you play the 5th fret, which is an A, on your E string, well, that's an A on the next string.
Same tone.
Same tone, so there you go. This is a D, and here's the D string. Playing the A string on the 5th fret, that's a D. This is a G. G, you move down to the 4th fret, and that's a B. And the 5th fret on the B string is an E. So it's kind of a quick, you kind of know where you're at on the road map. But when you're looking at the notes, they all go in alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And depending on where you start, either the C or the D, the A or the G, doesn't really matter. That's called your root. So when I do the C major scale, my root is the C. I'm also ending on the root, but the root is an octave higher. So another position trick is, these are all octaves. So that is a G, this is a G, that's a C, that's a C. It's kind of, and it goes all the way up the neck. And once you get these positions down, you know, these shapes with the scales, it's the same shape all over the neck. Same thing over and over and over, doesn't matter where you're at, it's the same same shape that you play.
Different tone.
Yep. Same thing. So, if you could, when you're at Ging's house, maybe get her to film you what you're doing. If you have any questions, show me how you're coming along, show me any points that you're struggling with, and we'll try to make you I'll make you your next video lesson after you've made some progress with this video lesson. All right. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Tito Matt.
Tito Matt.